Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our program. We are really honored to be able to speak here at the VC Latinx conference. So I'm here with my colleagues. My name is Michael Podolny. I have Justina Ansah and Gifty Amwako, Evangeline Dubor, and Mary Fiadese. And we are all part of the Theodora Africa project. Theodora Africa is a business incubator which is designed to help people who are coming from disadvantaged backgrounds. In our case, we're working with people who have been trafficked, who have had to fall into doing sex work in order to survive. And then we use the power of having a job, of having actual job in order to be able to then give them the training and the education that they need to thereby have a good life and income. And that business is called Theodora Ghana Virtual Assistants. So today our talk is going to be about why education needs to be connected to job development. All right. And everyone that you have here in the program is that will be in the panel is actually had a certificate, had job training. And you're going to hear the story. We're not going to dwell so much upon that story. We're going to dwell upon how having a job was really facilitated the change. And we'll talk just a tiny bit when we're done about what you might do if you're in an African country or a Latin American country, et cetera, where jobs are not available to maybe make use of the learning that we've done. So I'm going to turn the program over now to Mary Fiadese. She is the Business Development Director for Theodora Ghana Virtual Assistants. She's going to be our moderator. The rest of us will be the panel. So take it away, Mary.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. We are happy to be here today. So starting with, we understand you ladies have some sort of certificate. If you could tell us what kind of certificate you've got. If we can start with Gifty, then to Justina and Eva.
Okay, I'm Gifty. Actually, I have SHS certificate and diploma in airline ticketing and reservation.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Justina Ansah. I have diploma in business administration and also secondary school certificate.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Evangeline, and I have a certificate in senior high school, and I also have diploma in passenger handling and customer service.
Thank you. So I believe during this time while you were in school, you had a big vision of what your life is going to be during and after school. So could you tell us a little bit about how you felt during this period and how your life was during that time when you were in school getting your certificates?
Well, yes. Before entering into the school, I had a vision to become an air hostess to work with Emirates. That was the vision. So as I entered into the school, they keep encouraging us, giving us words of hope that definitely after the school, you get a job to do. So it was a happy moment. The feeling was so great because at the end of the day, you're going to see your vision coming into reality.
Yeah. Right. Justina?
With me, I'll say that I had this exciting dream as a kid growing up and sitting in the office, putting on suits. I didn't care at that moment what field it might be, but all I wanted was to be making a good income money, driving a car. I had an auntie I looked up to, so I was like, I have to get my degree and have to better myself and get that money. That was it.
Right. Gifty?
So I was actually happy because being airline ticketing or passenger handling was one of my dreams to work, my dream work to get done. So going to aviation school was very excited, and I was happy that after I'm done, I will be able to work in that airport as well.
Right. So actually you are following the path where they tell us you go to school, you get education, get certificates, and after everything you get a career that will give you money for living your life. But what really happened after you got off school? Can we start from Justina, then Gifty and Eva?
Okay, thank you, Mary. With me, I felt I was scammed because I went to school. I did all I could do just to get that grade. And when I came out, I realized that it was all scam because I had my certificate and diploma. I was happy, excited. I got a job interview. I was like, I'm going to get this job. I'm going to be paid a lot of money. My dream is coming fast. But when I went to the interview and after everything, and the person told me that your salary is going to be 700 cedis, I was like, and I was shocked. So instead of he telling me that he's going to get back to me, I told him I'll get back to you. Because at that moment, I couldn't take the shock, so I was just speechless.
See?
So actually, I was very excited because they made promise to us that as soon as we are done with school, they will help us secure a job at the airport. So we going to that particular school, we thought as soon as we are done, we will have our service done and also get a job to do as well. But after we were done with the school, they didn't even help us to secure the service to get done at the airport or even help us to get a job. So instead, we went around, or I went around looking for different vacant place like travel and tour or airport to get work done. So after I delivered my CV to them, they told me that they have people that like they have chain of commands, people that you have to go through before you get to another level, before they will even assess your CV if you're supposed to take you or not. And going through them, they demand, some of the men demand that you sleep with them before they introduce you to the supervisor to get everything or get into the job. So in this case, I decided not to, follow up with my dreams career anymore, just to set up back because I didn't want to be giving myself out to them. It's not like one person, but if there are 10, I have to be sleeping with all the 10 members before I can get the job. And even it's not even worth it. They will not end up paying you, and you knowing whether they are going to pick you or not is very like small, slim after you secure the job or not.
Right. So you've got this training and everything, knowing that you are going to get a job at the end of the day, but you come out into the marketplace and you are finding that hard to get a job with your certificates, or even the job that you get, you are going to earn even not enough money to start the life or to live a decent life, right? So Michael, tell us the concept of this program itself. What was the philosophy about creating this Theodora program?
Well, the philosophy behind Theodora was, as we talked about, we recognized that just training people, we're not going to get them out of this work. Now, as I've said, we've only just touched upon the stories of these women. They can go into a lot more depth of just what happens when you can't find work and what you need to do to survive. So in order to be able to change that trajectory, right, to change that pathway in life, there had to be work. And we recognized that the work was not going to come within the country. Okay, it wasn't going to happen in Ghana. There's 20% unemployment. All right. There's no economic development. You can't get money to start a business. All right. If you would want to borrow money to start a business, they're going to charge you 15, 20% interest. I mean, it's crazy. So to say that we're going to do economic development in the country just isn't going to work. What we recognize, though, is that there is a tremendous opportunity in terms of doing outsourced work. Now, in order to do outsource work, now outsource means, okay, virtual work done in another country. In our case, we want to look at developed countries, United States, Canada, Great Britain. These are countries that have a big labor shortage. They don't have people to do entry-level jobs. They're having all kinds of problems. They have low birth rates. So we said, we think we can match this up. However, that took quite a leap of training and education. So this gets us back to the theme here of VC Latinx, right? That education is a requirement, okay? We weren't going to be able to take Justina, Eva, Mary, and just instantly put them to work. We had to have an entire education program that was going to match the jobs we were going to put them in. So it was having the two working those two together simultaneously in order to create the change that we wanted was to give opportunity to my participants, my colleagues here, and to give good business service to the people we were selling to in the United States.
Right. So I understand that you pay the people during the training period, right? So
That's
what really motivated you to think that you needed to have the job available and pay them while training them? Because I definitely understand that's not how a typical social impact work, right?
No. Well, it's not how any normal business would work or anybody. Our recognition was the fact that, people like yourself and our colleagues here are, let's just say, cynical, skeptical. Like they've seen so many people, there's so many scams, right? Right. It's like what Gifty was talking about, right? You go to school, everybody promises you all this stuff, right? And then you go to apply for a job and said, hey, you got to sleep with me. Nobody said that in training. That wasn't part of the course battle. Like, make sure you're like prepared to go and do this type of thing. So people don't believe,
No.
right? There is a culture, and I can't speak for other countries in Africa or in Latin America who might be listening, to our program, but definitely there's a culture in Ghana which says we don't believe it. We don't believe anything's going to work. We believe it's, people are going to take advantage of you, do various things. If you get some money, grab it while you can because it's probably going to disappear. So we felt that we had to prove that we were serious and real. And so there were two aspects to this, right? There was the aspect which said, yes, you're going to get paid, and you're going to get paid like a real salary, like an amount that you can live with, right? And then the other part of it was then, and you're going to start working and you're going to start dealing with people, and we're going to start demanding change right away in order to be able to do that. So you see the connection between the two. So that was the background. And we had to raise funds for that. So we had some money from what we called angel clients, but we also have a nonprofit where we give donation monies to be able to fund that upfront cost.
Right. Thank you. So ladies, you have this man come from US, he didn't know anything. You have searched for a job for several times, and this man just show up that, hey, I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to pay you money. When did you figure out that this TGVA was real? Theodora program was actually going to pay you real money. You are going to get a real decent job. When did you figure out that this was not a scam? It is real. Can we start with Eva, then we go to Justina and Gifty?
Okay, so I got to know about it, like believe that TGVA is real on two different occasions. The first occasion was when I received my salary during the training, and I was like, whoa, so this is real. Then when I started working with the foreigners as in small business owners, and that was when I believed that I'm actually working. Like I found myself a job that I'm working that is going to pay me. Thank you.
Right. So that was when you started doing real client work after your training. During your training, you received your pay, even though you saw that it's real. You were still not sure if it was really happening until you started doing real client work before you realized that this is no joke. This is serious thing, right?
Yes.
So Justina, can you tell us your experience too?
Well, as Eva said, when I received my first alert, I was like, oh, like I didn't know how to express myself. So I had to scream. I was like, oh, sorry. But I was feeling so happy because I didn't know how to express myself, as I said at that moment, because this joy, you just sitting without doing anything and you're being trained and you're being paid at the same time, it was real, like happy. And doing an actual work with people you don't know, and most importantly, white people, in Africa, we see like, okay, we are undeveloped and other people are more developed than us. And having a better certificate, I would say, not having a job experience and you're working with these people, there's this excitement. You start feeling yourself. I was not feeling like, okay, your dream is coming to pass. So the excitement was real and everything was real.
Right. Great. Gifty, let's hear
So
yours.
it was hard to be true because in Ghana here, the students have to pay the teachers to teach you to even go out and look for work, which you will end up not getting. So when this project came and it's like, you are going to learn and you'll be paid for learning. To me, I didn't believe it until during lockdown season, I received an alert from the company that I've been paid to start working with them. That's when I believe, okay, this is real. And I was just thrown into Jumpstart to do transcribing, and also teachers started coming on board to teach us. Then I realized, okay, this is a real deal. This is a real business that we are going to do.
Wow, that's interesting. Great. So you have been with Theodora for about 2 years now, I believe. Could you tell us what skills you've learned, how you've developed both technical, people skills? Because I believe most of the things you are doing here in Theodora is way different from what you learned in school, the education and the certificate you got, right? So coming
Yeah.
into Theodora, you have developed a new skills, learned different things, both people skills, technical skills. Could you enlighten us?
All
Gifty?
right. All right. So first, I will say what I learned first was culture change. That's the time difference, how to understand business, language, and other aspects as well. And also time management. It has really helped me, and I learned all through Theodora Ghana. And also, there are a lot of softwares we use in Theodora Ghana. That's the newsletters, apps, and softwares. That's MailChimp and Constant Contact. Flow charts, that's we use Lucidchart software to create flow charts, and also process documentation as well. We also do social media posting for LinkedIn and also Facebook and other social media handle as well. So these are all softwares that I learned through Theodora Ghana.
Great.
Yeah.
Justina, let's hear.
Okay, firstly, with me, the first skills I got was communication skills, because I was finding difficult to speak among a lot of people, like in the midst of a lot of people. So the first skill was communication. It helped boost my self-confidence, which I was lacking at that moment. Then I also learned how to interact with other people, because before Theodora, I wasn't taught in school how to interact. I really thought you're going to do this and do this. I had no skills. So interacting was a problem. I got that skills from Theodora. And when it comes to apps, amazingly, the apps I know now, I don't even know how to explain it, because in school we never had, you don't have to learn about any apps. You just go to study, go for lectures. But in Theodora, I learned how to do video editing. I learned how to post on social medias. I learned how to use new hashtags, like how to produce hashtag without going with one hashtag. And that hashtags help boost every social media, that is LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. And I also had learned how to use a newsletter app called MailerLite, which is amazing, right? I know it's very, very amazing to me. As Nas said, each and every day to me, it's a new beginning and a new day for learning, because in Theodora, you learn each and every day.
Wow, that's really powerful. So I'm surprised, like, Michael, how did you do it? You know, people coming from this environment. I believe the culture in Ghana is so different from American culture, but bringing these ladies from these environments where they were to just focus on this certificate they are getting, and now they are here doing work with Americans. How did you create this behavior change? How did you come up with this?
Well, I would love to say that it was my brilliance and I had the idea of how to do this, but it was actually a good deal of luck and, falling into something, but then recognizing that pattern and being able to leverage from that pattern. And again, I want to make sure that we're addressing not just what we're doing, and that any of you who are listening to this, and whether you're in Africa or in Latin America, that you're thinking about okay, if I want to try to do something, or we have a group that's trying to do something, what lessons can we take from this that will help us to better ourselves and get the kind of economic development we want? So originally I went to Ghana, and it was not my intent to do this particular program. I actually didn't know anything about the trafficking problem. I didn't know about people who had, despite, high quality and, attaining the certificates, whatever, who couldn't find work. I knew about unemployment problem, and I was there to coach businesses because I'm a business consultant. That's what I do professionally. However, I was introduced to a young lady. So when I went to Ghana, I was part of Rotary. We'll get back to the importance of Rotary here, particularly if any of you out there decide you want to try to do something. So I was going to Rotary clubs, I was meeting people, and I was offering free consultations to test if my consulting would make businesses better and thereby create more employment. Always focused on getting employment, more jobs. And I was introduced to a young lady who had a business plan. A Rotarian made the introduction. It was a good business plan. I offered to help her. I go back to the United States, and I find out that she's in fact an escort, that this is going to be her pathway out. And the business plan, while it was good, was not going to do what she wanted. It took too long. It was going to need capital. So I said, we need to find something that she can do right away and get money, or she's not going to get out of the trap that she's in. So because I consult with a lot of small business owners and especially individual professionals, I knew their problems. I knew they couldn't hire people. Now, this is the key. So if you're out there and you're in Zambia, or you're in Kenya, or you're in, Bolivia, or wherever you're at, all right, the key is, where is there a hole in the marketplace that's not being filled? Where is there a hole in the employment marketplace in a place like the United States, in a place like Spain, if you're a Spanish speaking person, okay, in a place like, the UK, that can be filled by virtual work? And in the case that we were dealing with, most of these professionals are very bad at marketing themselves. You heard Gifty talk about newsletters. You heard Justina talk about, the video editing. Nobody in my country, all right, I should say nobody, very, very few professionals, okay, who are self-employed are going to do that. They're just not. They don't like doing that. And so I had the idea that this would be something, particularly the newsletter. Having seen this young woman who learned how to do a business plan, right, learned about marketing, learned about Microsoft Office all on her own, all right, through her own wits, I said, I'm pretty sure she can figure out MailChimp. All right. Pretty sure she could figure out some graphics. And so we did that. And I went to some of my client colleagues, et cetera, and said, hey, will you help this young lady? So this is another important point. This is where, if you are thinking about doing this in some other country, we're going to suggest you try to link up with some organization that can be your champion in the United States. All right. Or in, like I say, any other developed country. And so I went to them and I said, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help this young lady. Here's her background. Here's what I see. Here's why I think she's capable. This is a big test. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Would you be willing to spend $100 a month, which in the US is not a whole lot, all right, to be able to do this? And I was able to get 3 or 4 people to give us a try. Well, $300-400 a month in Ghana is good money, right? It's middle class money. So we did the test and it worked. But I watched how the young lady interacted with the people. And I saw how she changed due to that interaction, because these people don't treat their employees, their workers, the same way they do in Ghana. And again, I don't know all the cultures in all the countries that were here, but I suspect there's a lot of hierarchy, class system, where the people on the top kind of look down at the people underneath. So this was when I got into the idea that, okay, in order to be able to get the change and to do this, it wasn't going to just be education change. We had to work on behavior change. And we had to create an environment which said, you are no longer in Ghana. You are in the United States. Here's what we expect of you if you're going to continue to get this money. So that's it, kind of in brief.
Wow, that's powerful. So ladies, your last words before we leave today, as you've worked with these various American businesses, what kind of influence would you say that has had on you, your feeling about yourself up to this thing?
So for me, there's always ongoing learning. It never ceases because they take it upon themselves to bring us new projects or service for us to do and also to learn about. They are also there to coach us on things that we think we do not understand, or maybe we need some kind of little coaching before we kick off. And also they've made us to understand or learn how to empathize with other people as well, to be in their shoes. So we get to understand what they are going through in their business, as always.
Right.
With me, I have learned more on communication, because working throughout these years has made me realize that communication is the key towards everything. And working with these clients of ours in Theodora has made me more smart, because I need to be smart in order to help them solve their problem. Like trying new apps. I had this client who came in, he wanted video editing, and he was requesting for a different app that I had no idea. I didn't even know how to use it. Though it had the same features with the current one I was using, but it was different. It just took me a day to figure it out, and I'm using it right now. So I said, all these changes has been impacted to me. The ability to learn fast, and each and every day is a new day for learning. Thank you.
Right. Great. So my understanding is that your influence that you've had from this working with these American people, it's that you now you are able to continue learning, like you are continuously learning every day, improving your skills. I hear your confidence level has really come up, because before you wouldn't have the courage to be having a meeting with these American business people, but they have given you that opportunity to be able to communicate fluently, and that has really boosted your confidence level. And I believe this has changed your influence in the society, because you have a decent job, you work with Americans, and so it's a good feeling. Thank you for telling me this. Michael, so with your last question before we leave, what is the real job opportunity that people might be considering to try to have something similar like this?
So if you're watching this program, you're taking part of the VC Latinx program, you understand their philosophy is we want to give you the tools to improve yourself. If you are a small business owner already, maybe you're going to learn accounting, financial management, maybe you're going to learn about marketing, etc. But maybe you are not a business, okay? Maybe you are like our colleagues here who are just looking for an opportunity, okay? In that case, let us suggest you consider exploring how to sell outsourced services. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you decide you want to do this on your own, you're going to have to train yourself. Maybe there's things you'll see here in the conference and the course, but I would say some things related to behavior, time management, etc. The first thing I would do is I would download ChatGPT, and I would say, hey, I am a so-and-so person. I live in Sierra Leone. Here's what I am. And I want to sell virtual services to the United States. What kind of things should I do in order to be able to train myself to be able to do that? Okay. So you want to improve yourself. You want to make sure you get your ability to speak. You want to make sure you understand time management, and you want to do some research about what do you see that's out there. Now, there are existing platforms that you can go as an individual to market your services. The best known one is Fiverr. There's one that's called Upwork. It requires a slightly higher standard. And maybe if you've already got a diploma and a degree and you want to go and you want to work virtually, all right, you can look at some of these programs where their skills can be marketed. Let's say you wanted to try to do something like what we've done, where you're going to try to create a business to do this. Well, you're going to need a champion. You're going to need somebody in the United States who can help you this way that I was able to help this. And the best way to do that is go through some sort of social impact organization, right, that exists in both the United States and or Canada or in the UK, and in whatever country that you're in. And in this case, I would suggest you think of Rotary International. So both Mary and Justina are members of Rotary, all right, as am I. We belong to the Rotary Club to End Human Trafficking. I'll repeat that, Rotary Club to End Human Trafficking. If you go online and look us up. If you had an idea to do this, you could send an email to us through the Rotary Club. You could contact us, and we would talk to you about what we do, etc. And then we might say to you, okay, find a Rotary Club that's close to you. We might communicate with them, and then we try to say, well, let's find some partner in some place in the United States. And we do have clubs that come to us looking for possible opportunities. So that would be one thing. Churches would be a great one. If you belong to a church, all right, a church that's an international church, a church that's focused on doing social impact, you might be able to pull off the same thing. There's other clubs. I think Lions is a big one that's around. So I would definitely go through that route if you try to do that. And we are happy to tell people, give people the benefit of our, experience, because there are, in fact, all kinds of outsourcing opportunities in the United States. I mean, it's a huge potential market. And despite India and the Philippines and some other countries really having the lead in doing things, they're really only scratching the surface. So to go back to our theme from the beginning, if you want to have a job, right, if the job needs to be there to focus this education, and you can hear how our people are advancing and they're learning, etc., we suggest maybe you think about the outsourcing route to do that. So I'll close it up, Mary, okay? And we want to
Sure.
thank everybody. We appreciate your time. We hope this has been beneficial to you. Apologize that we had a little bit of technical problem. We weren't able to hear from Eva as we would have liked. And if you have any questions or want to follow up, you can follow up through the Latinx facilitators. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.